Um, I'll just share my screen. There. Yeah. Okay. Live. I'm calling this meeting to order at 9:01 a.m. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Catamonigan is located on the Treaty 20 Michisagi territory and the traditional territory of the Michisagi Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to First Nations for their care and teachings about these lands. May we honor these teachings. Approval of the agenda, please. Any additions, amendments?
How good?
Okay, Ryan is motioning. Second, Zach. Lynn. Secondly, we've got that's for everyone to declare a pecuniary interest. None. We have no closed session. We have no delegations. And now we have the minutes of our last meeting held Thursday. Well, is that, okay, sorry. April 10th, 2025.
April 10th, yeah. I'll move to adopt.
Okay.
Second,
Zach. All in favor? Carried. And then we move on to business arising from the minutes. So we were circling back to Ryan and replacement of the bike rack.
yeah, so I did talk to Chris. He's got the bike rack in storage. Obviously, we seem to have, a bit of a shift in the businesses downtown. No real clear direction on whether anybody actually wants the bike rack or not.
Right.
So the question is, do we think of an alternative? Like, do we put it up at the CMCC? Do we just let Chris put it where he thinks, give him the discretion to put it where he thinks he wants to put it?
If he's willing to take that responsibility, I would be happy to let Chris decide.
In terms of downtown or the CMCC, sorry?
Either or, if
to me, it makes more sense to put it downtown.
it does.
I think,
but if no one wants it downtown, then why shouldn't it be used at CMCC?
well, I don't know whether nobody wants it. It's just a matter of where we place it, right? And wherever you place it, somebody's
complaining,
Yeah.
correct?
Right.
Yeah.
But what we talked about last time was because of the way the patios have been set up, there's kind of a half parking spot in a few of those. So now that the patios are erected and all the lines are painted and everything like that, it's a lot clearer to see where there are spots.
So we need to talk to the two patio owners to see if they would have complaints with.
Well, it's not technically a patio problem, right? Like it's parking, because the problem was the spot or the bike rack was taking up a parking spot.
Correct.
Now the patios are taking up, a spot and a quarter or
which is
2.5.
effectively 2.
Right.
So it makes sense.
So wherever there's a half spot,
yeah,
it makes more sense to put the bike rack into it.
I agree.
Right. So I'll talk to Chris again and we'll figure out which of the half spots makes the most sense.
Okay.
Now that everything's kind of done, painted and erected.
And then failing that, if there's going to be a lot of uproar over either of those two half spots, would an alternative be by the mill?
No.
Why not?
Why?
Because it's downtown. To Zach's point.
It's downtown, but most people who ride bikes and park them downtown don't want to be actually see their bikes. They don't want to park them like way over somewhere because then most of the bikes for people who come downtown are expensive bikes. Right? They don't want to park them in the middle of nowhere and leave them exposed. So
Sarah, your crickets.
Well, I do think that's true. I think when people park their bikes, especially at our place too, even they park it right out front at the window where they can see it.
Right.
Yeah, I do think they're really expensive bikes and people want them in view.
that was the case.
Or at
with-
least where there's traffic, like people traffic, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think by the mill, they don't wanna have anything to do.
Unless they're fishing, which is not likely.
Right,
Um,
and sometimes they wear funny shoes, so they want it close to
They
where
do wear funny shoes.
they want it close to where they're going, because walking a distance in those funny shoes they wear
mhm,
can be difficult.
mhm.
They're almost like golf shoes, I don't know, they're kind of.
So
Well-
the biggest question from what isn't so much the placement of the bike rack is dealing with the outfall of wherever we place the bike rack.
How would you feel if it was on Tupper Street in front of?
Well, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Mhm.
I mean, we get a lot of bike riders in our place, but we have a fairly large parking lot with a railing around our patio that they lock their bikes up to the railing.
They just put them on the sidewalk.
But I don't think
Yeah.
on Tupper Street makes a lot of sense in terms of, because there are full parking spots on Tupper Street.
Mhm.
Like what we have on King
And
Street
we'd be
are-
losing one then.
Exactly,
And
on
then
King
there'd
Street,
be-
you have partial parking spots.
Yeah,
If it's going in a partial parking spot, I can't imagine ever getting too.
that makes the
about
most
that.
sense.
Right.
Okay, so the next question is, if that's a no, for whatever reason, either of those two next to the patios on King Street, would we let Chris Allison put the bike rack at CMCC?
That makes a lot of sense for me. There's
Okay.
a lot of kids riding bikes to the CMCC, and I'm sure they would love a place to tie them up.
Okay,
Yeah. And we'll find out from Chris, like maybe he already has a bike rack plan up there or something, so.
okay,
But
so,
anyway, let me just take it away with Chris and we'll try to get that up in the next week or two.
okay, but I'd just like to have some direction for him that's more specific, so the two spots that we are looking at are the half spots next to the Mercantile and Pastry Peddler patios.
Either or.
Yeah, either or. And if that's a no-go, for whatever reason, then CMCC. So we're not wasting the bike racks this year.
No, we don't want to waste them.
Yeah, waste use of them. Okay,
I mean, depending on if he has a bike rack, I suppose, for the CMCC already.
okay. So I will make a motion. Sarah knows how to word it.
Okay.
So it's for Ryan to give Chris direction for placement of the bike rack on either the two patio or next to the two patios on King Street. Failing which, CMCC in a spot that he deems advisable.
Okay.
Seconder, Zach? And
All in favor?
okay, carry. Reports, treasury report, Zach.
Okay, we got a couple months to do because of the missed meeting last month, so, opening balance, April 1, $74,753.75. Couple small checks cleared in April, and no deposits, so closing balance of 74,518.41. And then opening balance for May was that same figure. Checks cleared, relatively large one, the 25,47.02. That was the makeup check from Johnston's from last year.
Mhm.
Again, no deposits, and then closing balance for June 1 of 71,971.39. A ton of checks going out, so the ones from May that we couldn't.
Couldn't release.
Yeah, couldn't
We
ratify,
had-
I'll say.
yeah.
So we do have them. So we've got reimbursement to Pam at the chocolate shop for the balloon artist. A few from the decorating community, so Nancy, Rosemary, and Charlene. Easter event advertising for the Millbrook Times. The 100 Acre Brewing, I had to just pay this one, so this is gonna get switched over to reimbursement. The Lions Club, donation in place of the car show for the fishing derby. And then, again, Pam at Mitchell's Chocolates there for the BIA social food that she did. And then for June, we got, again, come up with the decorating committee, so Susan Rice and Rosemary, the reimbursement for me on the 100 Acre Brewing, a reimbursement for Ryan, which was the SOP for the social event, the Johnston's Summer Planters, advertising for the Millbrook Times. I think I missed in there, but it's a, goes in the advertising.
That was for the community calendar of events.
Right. Millbrook Mercantile, again, for the social event, food, and then Kathy, for a reimbursement. So this was for both the wine and the Evite, subscription that.
Right, and we have lots and lots of wine left for another event.
Yes. So that is it for.
Right, I think Sarah's the only one who can move it.
I will.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Very good.
So you got the next lowest of the number.
general business is Ryan up first with decorating committee.
Right, so the planters got installed on June 2nd. They're looking lovely. I see the hanging baskets are up now too. It's a nice compliment. That's it from the decorating committee. Now it's just summer maintenance.
They
Okay,
do look good.
marketing committee update. So we had our social, and I think it went very well, and there's lots of wine left. You might want to look at doing that again. We are effectively, the four of us are the marketing committee, and I would hope to have another meeting over the next month. We did have one last week with the three of us. Ryan couldn't attend, and we will talk about that. That was focused on ladies' night, so we'll move down to ladies' night 10.3.1, which is we feel that we have to cancel it for this year due to lack of volunteers. Discussion?
Not much to discuss, I guess.
No, there haven't been volunteers. There haven't been volunteers.
We have a big changeover of business happening this summer. We're losing the Joneses. We've lost Brittany, who was on our marketing committee in the past, but she is moving jobs and moving residences. We have her until for another week, and then she's moving to Kitchener. Timmy is still on a leave of absence. Allison, who was on the committee, looked like she was going to have to sell her business, but now she's revamping it, but she's under renovation. She doesn't have time.
And she picked up another job.
Yeah. So our downtown businesses are in transition as well as struggling just because of the economic climate right now. And really wanted to save it, but I too am unable to put the time into it. So I really hope we can have this happen next year. I don't want to lose it. I think it's been really important to us over the years, and I deeply regret that this is what we're having to do.
Is it worth, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Is it worth considering maybe actually getting like a professional event coordinator to run?
Yes, it is, absolutely.
I'd be fully.
But we're not going to get it done for
No,
the
I'm
end.
talking about
Yeah.
this year, obviously. But
And we've already set our road closures in stone, so we can't just say, well, we'll do it in September. I wish we could, but
technically you can.
yeah,
Yeah, you can just add it. You can just do another report to council to amend it,
We
to
could.
add it to, yeah, you could just say you didn't get ladies' night, so we're gonna change it. You do it sooner rather than later, but yeah, you can do that. We
I
did it
think-
how many times last year?
It's frowned upon, but it's not.
Yeah,
not
but it's
impossible.
not impossible.
Well, I was sorry to see the fall event go. The previous marketing committee made a decision to do a spring event, which turned out to be the Easter event as opposed to the fall event. I think the fall event was
If you're gonna go forward with it.
a
then-
better one for us. A lot of people disappear in the summertime,
Yeah.
and including me, if I can. So if there was, I understood that we had to put in our road closures at the beginning of the year, and then they were in stone, don't change them. It was too much for council to.
Well, and I think also your own marketing materials too, it kind of, it,
In a perfect world, I would love that, like everything's well organized a year in advance or set up, but it just, when we're all volunteers.
so I think last year what happened is we ended up taking the report to council. We amended it like 3 or 4
4
times.
times, yeah.
So that is a little over the top.
Of course,
Yeah, but
And I think that was mostly over the Christmas event.
No, but road closures come in, if movie shoots come in.
Yeah,
Things like that,
yeah.
so it's not like it doesn't happen.
yeah, yeah,
Just-
Question is, will we get more volunteers?
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
your bigger issue.
Well, and that's where you need a full support staff to do it, right? Like you need an event coordinator, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, if we're capable of,
and the likes of Michelle Main is perfect,
not somebody who's
but we'd
got,
have to pay her.
yeah, exactly, you
Yeah.
have to pay somebody to run your event.
Yeah, Yeah.
Like, we can't do it with volunteers, we've proven that.
I absolutely
That's too
100% agree. So we'd have to look at our budget.
We'd have to look at, you know, what did we actually spend on Easter versus the spring event that we had budgeted? What did we spend on, or what
On
would
the
have we
Easter
spent?
event.
I don't need it right now.
Yeah, like,
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the advertising, but really, the Easter event cost us $254.
yeah, I think we put 7,000,
Yeah.
right,
It was a healthy budget.
right? And then you tie in ladies' night. Maybe there's a pretty good budget sitting there that we could use. You just need to find the.
I'd be really happy to see like one really good one done really well.
I don't think we can get away with not doing something, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just sad.
Because so far we've lost all of our events, like the car show's gone,
Yeah,
ladies' night's gone. Will Christmas in the village happen? You know, I think to do that properly, we need to pay a coordinator to do it. It's too much to expect.
it's too complex for volunteers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Especially when it's involving vendors. You could take away the vendors. It'd
No,
be,
you're-
it'd be
It's a
so
street
much
party.
easier,
Yeah,
but
then it's a street party, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want the vendors, like the vendors draw as much as everything
absolutely,
else does, right?
Yep.
we need the vendors, I agree.
So maybe, let's bring back for maybe the marketing meeting or
So if we can,
can we work into a budget for a event coordinator for a fall festival?
and call it ladies' night,
No,
call it a fall festival,
call it fall festival, like ladies' night's done, right? Like ladies' night was our marquee
yeah,
August event,
okay,
it's gone, we're not gonna be able to do that.
okay.
We had traction with the fall festival.
Yeah, I don't think we should call it ladies' night. I
No.
mean, people are used to ladies' night when it happens and you'll mess everyone up, I think.
So for the time being, because we've advertised ladies' night happening on July 24, and I put out the calendar in a postcard
Mhm.
format that's been handed out to people at all their businesses. We need to put a notification out that it's canceled. If it was postponed, then we would say that, but it's not postponed. It's canceled for this year. We hope to bring it back next year. So that'll have to be, can we put that on our website? Okay.
Mhm.
And also, can we put that on our Facebook? I'm looking at you, Ryan, because we three do not have access to.
And I've given you access.
Pardon me, yeah, well, you and I'll have to do that together.
Sure,
'Cause
give me
I-
content, I'll post it.
Okay, I will give you the content, you post it,
Sure.
and I'll give Bridget the content as well. Really busy right now, but I'll get to it over the weekend for sure. And then we should have I don't want to take up a lot of time right now reviewing budget and all of that.
No,
But can the four of us get together as the marketing committee to look at the feasibility of having a fall festival?
Yep.
Okay. Date to be determined. We're all busy. But
well, let's try the next week or two.
maybe a date next week. Needs to be as soon as possible, because if this is something that has to go back to council, it's you're getting into summer, so
No, I don't think that's the main rush. I mean, the sooner the better, obviously, but
okay.
I think we need to determine whether it's even possible.
Do you
Like, there's no
mean-
point, there's no point lining up a date if we're just not gonna do it,
Right,
right?
so it's a feasibility meeting.
Yeah, we need to make sure we can pull it
Okay.
off
So,
before we lock
The
it.
four of us are committed to having a feasibility, marketing feasibility
Okay.
for fall festival meeting.
Next Wednesday, is there a day that works better than, what is next Wednesday?
18th. Yeah, I can do next Wednesday.
Okay, in the evening works better, or do you
Yeah.
have soccer?
I do, so in a perfect world, like 5 o'clock would be fine, or 7:30.
Sun's still up at 7:30. 7:30 is fine.
Is that easier for you, Sarah?
Either one works.
Okay,
I will make it work.
which do you prefer?
Well, I prefer the earlier one, but whatever works for you.
At 5 o'clock it is.
Yeah, I mean, I can be flexible, because you guys are working around me, so.
Always.
I know, I have the little kids, they're the problem.
It's probably easier for you at 7:30,
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
'Cause I can just, I'll be in cabin anyways until 7:30, so I can run over.
5 is,
But you'll have the kids,
It's-
right?
My wife will take them,
Ah.
yeah.
It's difficult for you, Sarah?
No, I can, with this kind of advanced planning, I can make it work.
But
Okay,
why don't we do 7:30, because then we're on
Oh my
such a time,
God.
then we're not on a time rush, because I'm capped at like 10 after 6, so we got an hour, that usually.
okay, 7:30 it is.
okay, 7:30. My house?
Sure.
We three all live in Millbrook, but I'll offer my house because I don't have any occupants there except for a really loud bird. Okay. That takes care of ladies' night, associate membership, any news?
No, we're
Yeah,
ghosted by,
yeah.
the school there.